Hola Scorpios, it's Tara by Tess with your January 2019 bonus reading. I saw these cards that I laid out. I immediately knew that I would have to do the reading with the lights out. And then I had this song that was playing in my head. So I'm going to do my best to sing it. It's not really in my range, really. So I like it. I think it's a good song, but yeah. The first time I ever heard this song, I had a neighbor as a child, Mr. Worley, right? He had a daughter with special needs who was quite old, but as a kid, we had to treat her like a kid as well. It was kind of a strange thing. Anyway, he's like, "Do you know this song?" And he played the song for me, and I was like, "Nope," because I'm a kid. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Oh, it's been such a long, long time. Looks like I'd get you off of my mind, but I can't. Just the thought of you turns my whole world misty blue. Oh, honey, just the mention of your name turns the flicker to a flame. Listen to me, good baby. I think of the things we used to do, and my whole world turns misty blue. Okay, so that's the song, and I just felt this kind of like a little bit of a dark tone to it. I'm not surprised, Scorpio, okay, because you guys you have the dark edge, okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Sorry for my singing, but it came out. So what you have is a 4-card spread first, okay. Moon, clouds, moon crossroad, crossroad whip or birch rod, but it's also the whip. Birch rod or whip and clouds. And I compared them to the overall stork, okay. When I first saw stork, my first instinct was like, you guys having a baby, but child's not here. So that's a possibility, but it didn't really come out with all the other cards. That just may be like one person, okay? You could be dealing with a fellow water sign because we have the Queen of Cups here. Could be dealing with a earth sign. There we go. Because we have a Queen of Pentacles. All right, so the first combination is moon and clouds. Now, before I get to that, I just want to say you have moon and whip in your reading. Okay, that combination in general, although I don't actually combine them in this reading the way it's laid out, is because it doesn't line up the right way. But it's very rare for me to get moon and whip in a reading. And that combination means PTSD. So, and for those who don't know what that is, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. So you may be suffering from this and not know it, or somebody you're dealing with is suffering from this. But I just wanted to point that out real quick because it's not a combination. I just wanted to point it out because there's nothing to talk about with it. Okay, so going into the actual combinations, we have moon and clouds. Oh man, I don't know, my back's hurting. Jeez. Okay, whatever. Maybe you guys have back problems. Okay. All right, so what I'm seeing is emotional confusion, emotional cloudiness. Also, actually, it does come up. Okay, emotional disorder. An emotional disorder could be lots of things, like PTSD, anxiety, things of that nature, okay? And it's going to have stemmed from some kind of an abusive cycle or an abusive situation. Could be violent, could be emotional. But what I'm seeing, Scorpios, is you guys are playing right into that Scorpio stereotype. I'm not saying it's not true, okay? But whoever this is for is really playing into it. If it's not you, it's the person you're dealing with, and they may have some Scorpio in their chart or they have Scorpionic traits. But we're covering, okay, these clouds, we're covering the moon. And you know what happens when the moon is full and the clouds are have dissipated, right? The wolves come out, right? The wolves howl, right? This is not a sexual thing, not really. This is more like emotional because of the moon card being here first. So you're covering the wild emotions. And there's a reason why they say Scorpios are like still waters run deep, right? Because on the outside, you're just the clouds. On the inside, there's the moon, right? So you're fierce on the outside. No, scratch that. Fierce on the inside, quiet on the outside. Any emotion that's too wild, it's being tamed somehow. It could be like self, flagellation, but it's being tamed, whatever it is. There could be, for a few people, there could be a serious need for some therapy. Okay. And I'm also seeing something, but you're trying to cover it up, or something is covering it up. Something intuitively is kind of being blocked. And it could be because of a past you have. You're not able to see things or see things as clearly as you would if you had not experienced this. Okay. And there does seem to be like a little darkness that you're holding on to. And Scorpios, that's just synonymous with you guys. You have a dark side, not necessarily like negative, as in seeking revenge. That is a dark side, the dark side. Sorry, I'm tripping myself out. I mean, every dark character has a different side, right? Okay, can't all be Kylo Ren, right? Okay, but I'm getting the dark side as in the things that you hide. Okay. Now, for a few people, I think you're afraid because moon is a phobia or fear, and it has to deal with emotions. So you may be afraid of being dead inside. Okay. Or this could have been in the past, you were dead inside, or you felt dead inside. And this led to you taking some actions that maybe you regret to this day. Okay. Or you regret at this time. And I will tell you, in case you're not sure, you're not aware, because there's a little bit of unawareness here. One of the symptoms of PTSD is emotional numbness. Okay. So at one point in time, you could have had PTSD, and then you were feeling empty. So you did a lot of things, maybe to try to get the feelings back, whatever it was. And whatever you did, you might regret. Or you're feeling this way now, and that might be why somebody's needing therapy. Okay. So I would like to encourage you, if you do feel dead inside, or if you have felt dead inside, there's, more out there. It won't be forever. Okay. All right. So with the moon and crossroads, we have an emotional choice. Scorpios and their choices. This is coming down to a choice about something. Okay. And this is about you contemplating your emotions. You're emotional about something. And of course, Scorpios are going to think about it because you guys are the analytics of the sign, I believe, at least in the water signs. Let me say that. Okay. And you're scared to make a decision. You're afraid to move forward in something. And again, like we have covered intuition, and then with the crossroad, we have like half intuition. So there's just something you're quite not grasping. I don't know why, guys. I'm going to tell you this. It's not showing up, but I'm getting a feeling. It's about like divine feminine, divine masculine. So there's something you're not recognizing, or there's like a spiritual awakening you're about to go through in regards to this, okay? And you kind of already know, but not completely. And that might be why you're afraid to make a decision, because you're like, if I make this decision, this is it, and I'm like stuck on this path, and I have to go on it. So, now with Moon and Stork here, Stork is about something that recurs. It's also about yearning and longing. And with the moon here, whew, it's like, it's deep. Okay. And when we, Scorpios, you guys are deep. We know all the water signs are deep. But here we have deep yearning, deep longing, deep desire. You could have a deep desire to feel again. You could have a deep desire for someone. And moon can be a depression. So you could be going into a depression or getting out of it. I feel like you're coming out of it, but this does tend to be a cycle with the stork here. So you may go in and out of a depression and you're not sure why. And it could be that the PTSD, right? Because it can flare up and then go away, flare up, go away. And there may be something you're a little fuzzy on, and it could be something abusive in your past that you just weren't really aware of. Okay. But deep down, something knows. So there we go. All right. So you could be coming out of a depression, going into it, coming out. I feel like right now you're going to come out. And this transformation that you're about to go through, it's going to give you that other half of your intuition. I'm saying half. I mean, there's really no measurements, right? Okay. Just so you're aware that I know this. It's going to give you that depth, that intuition that you've kind of been missing. It could be you're going to get more memories about something that was abusive, or when it comes to divine feminine, divine masculine, you'll see something. And we also have recurring trauma. So I feel like this just comes up for you as a cycle. Okay. And maybe you haven't seen the cycle, or if you are aware of it, because you are half aware, right? Could be somebody coming in and out of your life a lot, or you're thinking about somebody at certain intervals. And if you're not sure why, you may want to find out. Okay. It's probably why you're thinking about it, and you have a choice to make. And again, I see like half aware that you're longing for someone. Yeah, you're longing for someone. You're just not quite aware of it. Not really. And with your intuition and the stork, also it can be instinct as well. This is telling me, instinct does have a lot to do with PTSD. It's like your fight or flight responses. It's your adrenaline. It's your nervous system that, does these things to you. So what I'm seeing is whatever your instinct is about a person or about a longing, that's most likely what this is about. Okay. That's most likely the truth. Whatever you long for, what you yearn for, it's the truth. I mean, you can't really just change that, right? Okay. So let's go for Crossroad and Whip. This is the crux of your reading. It's a choice about something abusive, but I'm not saying you're choosing abuse, nothing like that. Okay. It's also contemplation about abuse. What I'm seeing is you're having to make an emotional decision about something you long for. And this is something not new to you. Okay. And you're contemplating all the ways that it could go badly, most likely due to some kind of conflict. Okay. But I think you're getting ahead of yourself because sometimes you overanalyze. And so you haven't made a decision. I'm seeing like inability to decide. And that's harmful in this situation. Okay. There could be some guilt or shame because of the whip being here. Shame could be something that you've suffered. Guilt could be something because of what you've done. So it could be both, or it could be either or. But I'm seeing you're beating yourself up. So again, there's that self-flagellation. And Scorpios, you get this a lot. At least in like 4 or 5 readings I've done in the last year. So there's this idea of like beating yourself up, but it's internal. Nobody knows. And then I'm seeing feeling ashamed or feeling guilty. Okay, Crossroad and Stork. You keep coming back to the same fork in the road, the same decision, the same pattern. You keep seeing like, man, I gotta keep making the same decision over again. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's like, why does this keep showing up in my life? And I'm seeing it's a choice that you never actually made this choice. So you've been putting it off for a long time. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, this isn't for you. Okay. There's a choice that you've been needing to make, and it's inevitable. That's why it keeps coming back. It's destined, it needs to be made, and you just have not been making it, and it's harmful to you. And in the interim, you've been beating yourself up. Now, remember, if this is not you, I don't really feel like it's for a cross watcher, but I mean, I could be wrong. Okay. Really, I get here is like, here and with the stork, I'm seeing there's a long ass time to decide something. Like, I'm a patient person. I work with people who have special needs, but damn, Scorpio, come on. Okay. Um, so with whip and clouds, what I see is clouds make me think something's fuzzy. Okay. So it could be misunderstanding or could be something old. Okay. So there could be old memories, fuzzy memories about an assault or abuse or something violent. Could be emotional too. Okay. But this hiding, this fuzziness, something that maybe you've been pushing something down, because you're quiet on the outside, fierce on the inside. I don't mean fierce necessarily as in handling it. I mean, like, it's just a storm up in there. Okay. And I don't mean like Dorian Gray either. I mean, like, it's just a lot of jumbled up emotion. Okay. Hey, it may be compartmentalized. Okay. But it's still all there. It hasn't been really dealt with. So, or whatever this is hasn't been dealt with. So I'm seeing the hiding this is damaging to you again. So it's like beating yourself up. It's harmful. It's harmful not only to you, I think it's harmful to somebody else with whom you're having to make this decision. And again, I'm seeing paralyzed, literally unable to make this decision because of shame or guilt. And this may be covered up on the outside by aggression. Like, it may be coming out as aggression when really it's shame or guilt. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have done something. It's something that could have happened to you before. And then we have an unclear abuse or misunderstanding about abuse or confusing abuse. So however that applies, okay? All right, so whip and stork. You have a substantial threshold for pain, okay? Because you're Scorpios, you're the phoenix, you rebirth every once in a while. So, and people do hurt you. I'm not saying they don't, but you hurt people too. Okay, let's just say, because it's in your nature to do so. But this is a self-hatred. It's like you're hurting yourself, and yet you're taking it. I mean, what I really get here is a long time ago, somebody hurt you, and then you ended up doing something. Okay, but everybody's different, so I'm just bringing out all the scenarios. But I do see like self-abuse, self-hatred. And there is a journey that you need to go to healing, because stork also represents healing, especially when it comes with the whip. You're trying to restore justice, not only to yourself, but to others. You're trying to take something bad and turn it into something good. And it has to do with the effects that go on in somebody because of violence. In most cases in this reading. I think emotional abuse is violent too, but that's just me. And this is going to transform the shame, transform the guilt by making this decision, whatever it is you have to do. Now, yes, you were thinking of all the ways this could go bad, okay? But not only do you have to make an inevitable choice, there's going to be inevitable conflict, okay? You just, you can't avoid the conflict, whatever it is, because if there is this much emotion going on, yeah, there's probably going to be some differences of opinion or viewpoints or whatnot. Okay. But I've never seen Scorpios so afraid to make a decision, and it stems from shame or guilt. Okay. Less than fear. So I don't want you to think I'm calling you like wusses or anything, because that's not what's going on here. Um, and yeah, I mean, I see a cycle of abuse. So one, this is coming up for you, it's recurring, but also if at any point you experienced abuse, it could have been that this was a pattern that you kept going through. For instance, could have kept meeting abusive partners, kept meeting emotionally unavailable partners, or in some sad cases, maybe continuing the abuse with people you're with. Okay. All right. So the last combination is clouds and stork. And it says, right now, the path is yet unclear what decision you're going to make because you haven't decided yet. Okay. Scorpios, you should have decided during the middle of this reading. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell a Scorpio what to do. So yeah, the path is not clear yet for you because again, your intuition's like half there. So it looks like you're going to have to make a decision based on muddled information. Okay. You might go seek a therapist, like the beginning of the reading, talking about there might be a need for one. Okay. Maybe that's what you've been avoiding. But here I'm seeing searching through the clouds. Like there's a desperate search going on. Some of you, it's a desperate search for feelings, because again, I'm seeing instinct and emotions are dulled. And then again, I'm seeing not being aware of a cycle. So you may not notice that this is a cycle, but you do now. And then somebody really longs for something. Okay. It could be you, could be a person you've dealt with or you're dealing with or you will deal with. Somebody has a really deep longing or yearning for something, just like you. You could have the same longing or yearning, but it's misunderstood. And then I have confusion, despair recurs. So this is like a cycle, like PTSD, for instance. But also, if somebody's coming back into your life a lot, they could be bringing in confusion and despair every time they come through. But I do feel like something's coming back with the stork. But there is a chance for new beginnings with the stork as well. So there's good that comes out of this. And you are trying to transform something bad into something good. So, yeah, I'm seeing whatever the confusion or misunderstanding is, it keeps returning again and again and again. So you may be getting into an argument with somebody over a misunderstanding or something that's confused about abuse. And that's why there's conflict. And again, you might butt heads with somebody because they're not going to understand it the way you do. Or if your intuition is kind of clouded, like it does about this situation, not in general, just about the situation, it might be you who's not understanding this correctly. Okay. So, all right, leave it to Scorpios to give us the deep reading right away. Couldn't even like ease us into it. Okay. Had to do it in the dark too. All right, so I'm going to start with the typical tarot, and I'll clarify with the moment after. I'm going to do the same spread I did for the others in their bonus reading. I don't have a name for the spread, but it's helpful. Okay. So the first position is, what is Scorpio's current situation? So what's the current situation for Scorpios for January 2019? The current situation. Sorry about that. All right, so we have the Four of Wands. Ooh, and hiding is the Two of Wands. Who got this? Cancer's got Two of Wands. It was a different card, or a different deck. I'm glad I got two cards on either side of the two, because twos are about choices. It just further clarifies what I need to know. So let me think for a second. There's something you hope for, and yet you feel it's hopeless. And it's a stable, well, stability, but a stable partnership, a victory when it comes to a relationship. Could even be a marriage, um, somebody you want to live with. Okay. Yeah, you have hopes about it, but at the same time, you feel like it's hopeless. And you may feel hopeless about it. It could be an Aquarius, by the way, um, because you feel like maybe you or somebody else was not loyal. Okay. Let's clarify. What's the current situation for Scorpios? I kind of feel like you're taking away 2 of the rods from the four of rods. Like you're having to break up a household. And you were vulnerable about something. Okay, so what is the current situation for Scorpios? Well, one of these days. Sorry, I keep having to put my glasses up. I'm wearing glasses right now instead of contacts. Okay. Let's see. I've had a headache, so let's see. Scorpios. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to pull anything for you if we have to keep doing this. Oh, okay. I was about to say I lied, but never mind. 5 of Cups reversed. Okay. It could still go either way. We have the 5 of Cups. Okay, it's a little different in this deck because here somebody's drowning and they've turned away. Okay. It's reversed, so this lets me know this happened in the past. Could be a fellow water sign. Okay. It's either you or the other person, but somebody left somebody they just abandoned them. Probably in their emotions, left them to die, pretty much. Dang, Scorpios. Ooh, okay. This is a card of sorrow and regret and shame. And for some of them, the person did it because they couldn't feel anything. Of course, now, okay, they feel it different. They've had a change of perspective and they can feel it. Okay. All right. Whew, I'm not touching that again. Let's go to the next part. All right, so we have your issue, obstacle, or fate. If that's not an issue, obstacle, or fate, I don't know what the fuck is, but shit, let's do it. Okay. What's the issue, obstacle? Okay. 1 card, the 7 of Wands in reverse. Cancer's got this too, on top of the 2 of Wands. Okay. Let me clarify first before I start talking. What is the issue, obstacle, or fate for Scorpios for January 2019? Issue, obstacle, or fate. Do I want to take all those? Oh no, that's way too much. But we did have the High Priestess reversed, so that's blocked intuition. Could be blocking your intuition, but it's like half blocked. Okay, could be some kind of sexual addiction. Scorpios. I don't know. When I was younger, I wanted to be a nun. I don't think you guys could understand that, but let's see here. All right. Let's put this 2 in the middle. 5 and 2 make 7, so we kind of have 2 sevens. You're very conflicted with these 2s here. You do have a choice to make. 5 of Swords is an ugly card, let me just say. It's a card where there's victory, but nobody wins. This one's a little bit different because it's the after tarot. It's a little less sad, so I feel like time has passed. And I do feel like there's an emotional block and you've been guarding it, but you're almost ready to let your defenses down. Somehow or another, you're going to get clarity about where you stand in a conflict. And I think you're afraid, okay? Or you're thinking that there will be conflict, like somebody's at the ready. And one of you is willing to surrender, okay? Is what I see. Scorpios, I don't really see you guys surrendering. But with the amount of guilt and shame that I've seen in these readings thus far, I wouldn't be surprised if you decided to. But Seven of Wands is normally being on the defense, feeling like things are coming at you and having to defend yourself. And then here we have the rejection of that, okay? Or it could be overly defensive, depending on your situation. I need one more card just to see. Page of Cups reversed, emotional distance. Okay. I did see an emotional block, so. And it's because of some kind of terrible situation. Very abusive in my mind. You're almost tempted to just block everything out because of the mental torture that you've been going through. And this has to do with fighting and force, something like that, okay? But definitely not offering emotion right now. Okay. So the next position is, what are the steps that will help you with your issue, obstacle, or fate? So what are the steps that will help? Okay, let me clarify real quick. What are the steps that will help Scorpio? There's so much fear and shame and guilt and pain. I mean, you guys did get the mental torture not too long ago. It looks like it's back. And to me, personally, 5 of Swords and 9 of Swords are PTSD. Okay. What are the steps that will help Scorpio? I mean, I can see you're up. You're up at night, not sleeping, running things over in your head, maybe feeling guilt, depression, thinking about something that's happened. That's too many. I'm trying to get clarity so I can know what the step is. Because doing that's not going to help you. I think you've already been doing that. You know what they say about doing the same thing over and over again. Unless it's sex. Okay. I didn't mean the same thing. I just meant sex in general. The Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, so for both of these, we need to flip these around. You're very worried about having a new start, a new passionate start, and most likely it's sexual, okay, with the Ace of Wands here. But you're scared of the transformation. You're scared to make the decision. And so what we need to do is just flip these bad boys right around. It's to make the decision and not to be scared. And I think it does involve sex somehow. Okay. Now, moving these out of the way. What is it about Scorpio that gives you the strength to do these steps? Okay. So what is it about Scorpio? The World reversed. You're stuck. Okay. And that's why you don't want to keep going in this circle. The pattern keeps happening. I think you're about to become aware of it. because normally we have Scorpio here. So, but normally in like the Wheel of Fortune, the Sphinx points to Scorpio. So this is saying that you have the ability to change this for the better. Let's clarify real quick. What is it about Scorpio that will help them with the steps? Also, just want to mention for your steps, some of you aren't praying at night. Instead, you're just staying awake. So I would advise praying whenever you're feeling like that or you can't sleep. I do feel like this transformation will happen as a result of divine intervention. The Hermit. You're very contemplative, okay? Maybe dealing with a Virgo. You could have Virgo in your chart. I see you're very wise, okay? And if you weren't aware before, you will be now about the cycle, or that something is not over, something is unfinished. And I feel like you're going to take it and like kind of run with it. You're getting your hope back, okay? Or if you thought a situation was beyond hope, you're going to notice that it's not. And you may be the type that doesn't give up so easily, okay? Especially when it comes to things like hope. All right, I'm going to skip the next part because I don't really like that particular part. I'm just going to go straight into the potential. Okay, so what is the potential outcome for Scorpios? Should they follow this advice? Okay, what is the potential outcome for Scorpios? Should they follow the advice? Don't know if these wanted to come out or not. Okay. So you have the Four of Cups with the Five of Wands reversed. You're going to give up the fight. You're going to give up the conflict. Okay. I don't mean the fight in general, just over conflict in this recurring cycle. Here's the High Priestess reversed again. Some of you are saying no to some kind of sexual addiction. You're also saying no to fighting with a High Priestess-like person. You're also not going to fight against secrets that come out. I'm also seeing you'll no longer be in doubt. And for this particular situation, whatever it is, you're not planning on manipulating it. You're really willing to let the truth come out, let the lies come out. You may even reveal, remember this could be anybody, not you, but I'm saying you. You may reveal intentional sabotage or false information. It doesn't have to be sexual addiction either. It could be drugs or alcohol. It could be jealousy, Scorpio, obsession, Scorpio. Now, after this discovery or this secret comes out, I'm seeing you're worried that the passion will die out and you will get bored. You're also worried about you or somebody else being upset. Yeah. In the past, there could have been unrequited love. But you're really searching to discover something. I'm getting a lot of discovery now all of a sudden. Could have been unrequited love with the star reversed in the beginning. Could have been in the past, though, since it's reversed. or star-crossed love. And then with the Hermit, I'm seeing you looking for the discovery of why this keeps happening. And with the World here and the High Priestess looking so much like justice right now, and the Star, this could be some kind of a karmic cycle. It's like a lesson that keeps happening because you haven't yet learned it. But you're afraid once the discovery happens, that's it. And I know Scorpios like the intrigue, but gee whiz, I mean, you can't just not make a decision because it might die out a little bit. Who's to say it will? I mean, the High Priestess, just in general, I mean, she's very mysterious. Yes, she's in the reverse, so it's like being more direct and less mysterious. It's like you're afraid the mystery. Like you can't accept the truth or the discovery because it's not intriguing anymore. Oh my goodness. And with the Hermit here, it's like you lose interest because you're not struggling anymore, or the passion's gone, or the struggle's over. It's almost like you missed the struggle. But if this is divine feminine and divine masculine, it's not going to die out. You're afraid of it, though. Let me see if I can get some advice for you, because, I mean, I can see why, because, I mean, you always want a little bit of something, right? So, okay. That's why you don't want to transform. You're worried about it. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, what's the advice or message for Scorpios? This is from my Sacred Rebel Oracle deck. I forgot how big these cards are. Okay, what message is there for Scorpio? So let's look at these first. New birth, guarded vigilante, or vigilantly. I don't know why I said vigilante. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's definitely you guys. You're going to go through a transformation. But boy, you are definitely guarded. What do you feel? Okay. And then focus on the light. I don't know if you guys are just, you're dealing with something that's complete opposites, because we always obviously have apples and oranges. And then we have the moon here. You're transforming from something dark into something light. Or you're transforming something that's been in the dark and letting it come to the light. And with that, there's a change, but it's not a bad change. I don't know if, like, there's this, like, maybe you get kicks out of something that's, like, slightly wicked, and you're afraid, like, oh, if I go to the light, you know, I'm not going to have that. I wouldn't worry about it. To me, this all looks good. Inner trust, which is the High Priestess, and she's in the upright. So you will still have that intrigue and that mystery. I don't feel like it's going anywhere, but you have to trust it. And remember, your intuition isn't quite on par when it comes to the situation. So you may need to kind of play it out. Okay. All right, now let's do my deck. What messages are there for Scorpios for February 2019? One more time. What messages are there for Scorpios for January 2019? What do Scorpios need to know? Being a bitch or a dick. We have fairness and balance. So yeah, Keeper of the Scales. I do get more of like a justice karmic phase. Somebody may be getting justice for acting in a bad manner. Okay, let's see here. You might be trying to make up for being one of those, a bitch or a dick. Let's see here. Spy. Some of you are spying on people. All right, we have 16, which is the Tower, which is a Scorpio card. Acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. But remember, you're not going to manipulate the situation. Which may be something you're like, oh man, because I'm seeing, you guys were worried the passion will die out. Soulmate. Okay, it could be a karmic soulmate. Doesn't have twin flame. Okay. And then we have revenge. Really, Scorpios? That may be the manipulation you're looking for. But I'm seeing you're not going to be manipulating. And that may be what you're missing out on. Let's see what else is here. We also have trust and strategizing. Okay, so breakup, inner conflict. Doesn't have to be breakup, okay? Inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. It's your choice. Let me pull one more. It's your choice whether or not to get revenge or have good news. Okay. Which one is more appealing in this particular situation? To me, it's good news. To a Scorpio, I don't know because I'm not one. But it does look like you have a choice. Okay. Some of you who are going through a breakup, it might be half revenge, half to go towards something good. Okay, but again, I'm seeing the need to be prayerful. Okay. All right. Good luck, Scorpios. God bless.